In this video, I will be formulating and solving this transshipment problem involving shipping items from 3 plants to 2 warehouses, and from those 2 warehouses to 3 distribution centers. In transportation problems, we ship directly between origins and destinations. But transshipment refers to shipping from origins through transfer points to final destinations. In essence, the transshipment problem is a transportation problem that has intermediate or transfer points inserted between origins and destinations. These intermediate points are referred to as transshipment nodes. They are temporary locations as the goods only pass through them. Back to the transshipment problem we want to formulate an LP for. The origins are the 3 plants, with capacities or supply values of 600, 500, and 700 respectively. The 2 warehouses will be the transshipment nodes that the goods will pass through on their way to their destinations. The nodes are labeled 4 and 5 here in continuation from node number 3 here. The distribution centers are the destinations with demand quantities 350, 600, and 800 respectively. The plan is to ship from the plants to the warehouses, then from the warehouses to the distribution centers. The costs of shipping from plant 1 to the 2 warehouses are 6 and 5, 4 and 7 for plant 2, and 8 and 5 for plant 3. Similarly, from warehouse 1 to destination centers, the costs are 6, 7, and 9, and 3, 6, and 12 for warehouse 2. Thus, we have completed the transportation network of the transshipment problem. For the LP formulation, let's begin by defining the decision variables. Let Xij be the number of units shipped from node I to node J. The objective is to minimize total shipping costs, which we write as follows. For example, it costs $6 to ship a unit from node 1 to node 4. So 6x14 gives the total cost of shipping between node 1 and node 4. Similarly, we have 5x15 for the total cost of shipping between nodes 1 and 5. We continue in that fashion, ensuring that all these arrows, which we call arcs, are represented till we get to 12x58 here. Next, we write a constraint for each of the nodes in the network. Note that total supply is 1800 and total demand is 1750. Since supply is greater than demand, we will not ship all items from the plants, so supply constraints will be less than or equal constraints. Thus, from node 1, we cannot ship more than 600 units to nodes 4 and 5, and we write x14 plus x15 less than or equal to 600. Similarly for node 2, x24 plus x25 less than or equal to 500. And for node 3, less or equal to 700. Nodes 4 and 5 are the warehouses, which are transshipment nodes. So whatever they receive from any of the 3 plants, they will ship out to the distribution centers. Therefore, whatever node 4 receives from nodes 1, 2, and 3 must equal what it gives to nodes 6, 7, and 8. We can rewrite that as follows so that all variables are on the left. Similarly for node 5, x15 plus x25 plus x35 must equal x56 plus x57 plus x58, which can also be written as follows. Next, for the destinations, that is the distribution centers, we have demand amounts which can be fully met because total demand is less than total supply. Therefore, the destination constraints will all be equally the constraints. Thus, for node 6, we have x46 plus x56 equals 350. For node 7, x47 plus x57 equals 600, and x48 plus x58 equals 800 for node 8. Since we can ship negative number of units, we add the non-negativity constraints xij greater or equal to 0 for all I and j. The LP formulation for the problem is now complete. Now suppose demand at node 6 increases from 350 to 400. Then total supply equals total demand, what is called a balanced transshipment problem. As a result, we can rewrite the supply constraints as equality constraints. But if demand at node 6 increases to 500, the problem becomes unbalanced again, as total demand will be greater than total supply. Therefore, demand will not be fully met at some nodes. That will require changing demand constraints to less than or equal constraints. Going back to our original model, we sometimes have cases where we could ship directly between origins and destinations, or between any 2 nodes. For example, Suppose node 3 can ship directly to node 6. Then we add x36 to the left side of node 3 constraint. We also do the same for the node 6 constraint. Back to the original model. Suppose instead that plant 1 can ship to plant 2. Then we add x12 to the left side of constraint 1 to account for the additional outgoing route. But for constraint 2, we add x12 to the right side since the amount shipped from plant 1 will be added to the already existing 500 units at node 2. Rewriting constraint 2, we see that x12 has a negative sign, while others are positive, as indicated by the direction of the arcs touching node 2. We could also have capacitated routes, in which case the amount that can be shipped along a route is constrained. For example, suppose node 2 cannot ship more than 200 units to node 4. We will add the constraints x24 less than or equal to 200 to the model. And if node 3 must ship at least 150 units to node 5, we will add x35 greater or equal to 150 to the model. In some cases, one or more transshipment nodes may also be capacitated. For example, suppose due to space limitation, node 4 cannot handle more than 1000 units. Then we can write x14 plus x24 plus x34 less than or equal to 1000. Since for transshipment nodes, total inflows equal total outflows, then we could as well say that the total units leaving node 4 must be less or equal to 1000 as well. Finally, suppose shipment is not permitted through certain routes. For example, from node 5 to node 8. We could omit the corresponding variable from the model or add a constraint that sets the variable to 0. Let's now solve the original model in LINDO. If you're not familiar with LINDO, please see description for a video on how to install and use it. On clicking Solve, No Sensitivity, and Close, we have the solution in the reports window here. We have the objective function value here and the amounts to ship between the nodes here. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.